So I used to think landscape painting was super boring until I found this technique of mixing abstraction with some realism. And that is what I'm going to show you today. So my name is Elli Milan, and I'm a professional artist. And I am super passionate about helping artists step into their destiny and be able to fulfill their purpose as artists and be full-time professional artists. So what we're going to learn today is how to use all these different materials. I have acrylic paints, I have some fluid acrylic, spray paint, I got a roller, and I'm going to show you how to create kind of an abstract mess where anything goes and it's very loose, and then pull it into something that is more rendering of a realistic landscape. So there'll be some elements that are representational and some elements that are abstract. And the thing that I'm most interested in teaching you today is how to blend the two, because that's where a lot of artists get stuck. So if you've tried this before and you wanted to loosen up and you ran into that issue where you don't know how to blend the abstract elements with the more realistic elements, I think you're gonna really like this workshop. So this is live, if you haven't figured that out by now. And we have a chat, so Jake is here. Why don't you say hello to everybody, Jake, while I get started.
What's up, beautiful creatives of the world? So glad to be here today, and I love, love, love the abstract landscapes that Elli creates, and I'm so excited that you get to learn how to create them today. You are about to watch a beautiful painting be created completely from start to finish in an hour or less. It is honestly a really challenging feat, but Elli is a pro, so I'm excited for you guys to get to learn this process.
So I just started with this roller, and I learned this in watercolor, where you kind of have these broken sort of things for the fluid stuff to go through. And now I'm going to squirt it and see what we got, and it's going to make a bit of a mess. And the heavier metallic acrylic is going to hold its own, and it shouldn't run too much, while the ink here, or this fluid acrylic, is gonna run. So I'm looking for just little surprises and to get myself out of being tight and just let it kind of flow and do its thing. I'm gonna mix a little spray paint into it now, and oh, that is like Christmas green. So this is gonna look really hideous for a little while. Just be prepared. I'm prepared. And I like to mix acrylic water-based spray paint into kind of runny stuff like this, because you really get a lot of mess going on. And the mess is what helps me kind of see that abstraction that's happening. I'm just going to tilt this a little bit like this so that some of it will kind of hold.
Hey, sorry if you already explained this. We have a very active chat today, but could you explain a little bit, or did you already explain how you're using your reference with this process?
I didn't explain it. How about I explain that while I dry this a little bit?
Perfect.
So I have a hairdryer. I think you're gonna still be able to hear me over this hairdryer. If you can't, then let us know in the chat. But I just have an idea board. So you can see it here. I have different reference photos of just kind of a Tuscan vibe or a landscape vibe. And I'm heat gunning this, and it's gonna freeze these really cool modulations I have in here. And because the spray paint actually dries pretty quickly, and it will kind of hold the ink a bit. So mixing and working flat doing this is actually better than straight up and down. You can control the shapes that you get more. But back to the references, I'm using, kind of an idea board method where I'm gonna mix and match. I'm kind of looking at it as inspiration, And when I get to the more realistic part, I might, if I put these houses in, or some of these houses in, I actually have a photo reference that I can refer to get the angles right, you know, the perspective right. I don't have to completely drudge it up out of my imagination. Yeah, and if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask them in the chat. I'm getting better and better at talking, answering questions, and painting and hair drying at the same time. So this shouldn't take too much longer.
Elli, could you explain like what is abstract realism for someone who, you know, just clicked on this video and maybe they've never even seen it before, but they're, you know, or heard of it, but they're interested by the idea of abstract realism? How would you describe it?
Yeah, so it's kind of a term. I have heard other people mention it since, but it was actually originally a way that a art dealer was trying to describe to Dimitra's collectors her style. So my daughter is Dimitra Milan, and actually Jake's wife, and she got her start in art at just 15 years old, and she was in all kinds of galleries and had collectors all over the world, and it was because her style was so unique, and so that art dealer coined the sort of term for it as abstract realism. And then as the years kind of went on, we saw some other artists that were painting in that style that really weren't influenced by Dimitra, and Dimitra wasn't influenced by them. So it's kind of a thing. And you can, Eric Robitaille is another artist from Canada. We actually represent him in our gallery in Sarasota that paints in that style. And it's where you have all these like abstract, playful, poetic elements that really adhere to the elements of art. So scale, color, line, texture, pattern, all kinds of things, and are more abstract. They're not in that, you know, sort of 1-point perspective or 2-point perspective that you might see in a landscape. You know, they might be stacked up or floating or not really in a logical plane. Intermixed with, you know, a hillside of houses that kind of blend and meld into this abstraction that doesn't exist in the same perspective or the same realm. And it's sort of this idea of two realms coming together, an abstract realm, something in our imagination, something out there in the ether, that the only rules around it are the elements of art, combining and colliding with realism that, you know, has to adhere to rules of perspective, depth of field, you know, all things kind of make sense with that. So it's really interesting to kind of get those two. All right, I think I'm done with this hairdryer now. It's kind of interesting to get like those two realms to kind of coexist and play off of each other and really work with each other. Okay, so now I've got a bit of an abstract mess. I am going to, you know, begin to kind of carve out that that sort of atmospheric perspective, or the what is in the background. You know, basically carve out a sky. So step 1, make a mess. Step 2, carve out a sky. If you are following along here. I highly recommend you guys try this. So you can always watch this video again and see what's what.
Oh, and we forgot to mention that for those of you who are joining us live, at the end of this, we have an amazing giveaway of an entire set of brushes.
Yeah, the brushes I'm using.
Yeah, so if you're looking at those, amazing brushes and thinking, I am so jealous, I want some of those for myself, then stick around till the end, because they could be yours.
And, at this point, you don't want to get tight and sit here and start like drawing in mountains. And it's this kind of ebb and flow back and forth between, just really loose stuff that doesn't even really have to be landscapey. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And things that are more, definite and closer to like something that looks like a tree or a bush. So the brush strokes are more expressive. Your mindset is free and kind of, we'll see what happens, and less about, getting it right. So in these beginning stages, you can really just kind of let loose some.
Hey, Elli, Kellen wants to know, is there any strategic decision, or I guess why do you choose, or have you chosen to paint the landscape in a portrait orientation of the canvas rather than landscape orientation?
Oh, I love that she noticed, because somebody on our production team asked, are you going to do this landscape, or, because it's a landscape, right? Are you going to do this landscape or portrait? And I said, landscape, duh. And, I was trying to be funny. And then I thought, well, why is it a duh? It shouldn't be a duh. So I'm like, let's do a portrait. Let's do something crazy and do it a portrait. So that's why it's a portrait.
Just having fun. Resilient I Am wants to know, Hala wants to know, do you usually put all of your colors on the palette, or only the ones you plan to use for the painting?
I like to use a lot of color myself, so I put a lot out. But I think like as long as you have a balanced palette, so that would be some form of red, some form of yellow, and some form of blue. I'm kind of gonna go with a yellow dominant color. So I have a little bit of violet, and then I have just a tiny bit of red, a magenta red, and then just a little bit of blue. So you gotta have red, yellow, blue, some form of it. Your red could be burnt sienna. It doesn't have to be necessarily exactly red.
Katerine Carroll Arts just came back from the summit, I believe the same one that you were at, Elli, in Ohio, and lots of businesses like abstract art to embellish their walls, various sizes and very colorful. So you are in the right place, learning the right technique right now.
I think I'm going to use my roller a little bit. What do I do with that?
Natalie says, I just bought a couple of Milan brushes and they are delicious.
They are. I try not to eat them too much, but they are delicious. So I have found that using tools, sometimes, of course, I use brushes in every painting, but things like a roller can really get you some cool. I've actually never used a roller with fluid ink. Let's see if that even works. I've never tried this. It might stick, it might not, I don't know. Yeah, that's not really working. Oh, I guess it's kind of working. Okay, I like that. So I found that rollers, you know, can get you some interesting abstraction. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but I'm finding that if I move these in a certain way, you know, they begin to feel like abstract trees or bushes or something like that. So I'm going to mix a little bit of this green into it. So even though it's still looking messy, I am kind of trying to head a little bit towards the landscape part. As you can see, it's getting somewhat landscapey.
Do you have any piece of advice for artists who struggle with staying loose throughout the process?
Yeah, get things like a roller out and, you know, that you don't have a lot of control over. So like this roller, I'm winging it in a way. I'm not 100% in control of what's coming out of it. It's somewhat unpredictable, and that allows for, you know, some kind of like happy accidents or some unpredictability that can that's not really working. And it's just fun to get these interesting things in there. And I try to not get tight too soon. So I just tell myself, Ellie, you're not allowed to get the little brushes out. You're not allowed to draw anything. You're not allowed to, you know, get a pencil or a crayon out and because all those tools, it's really about your tools. All those tools make you in control. There will be a time and a place for control, but not yet. If you go into that control zone too soon, you know, like I could sit here and start drawing those houses right now and then begin painting them. But what's better is if I paint it with my roller, because all kinds of crazy stuff's going to happen if I do that. And that will play into the abstraction. So I love this quote I heard when I was in college. I've looked for it since and I can't find it, so maybe I made it up. But I thought I heard it in college. To bring the far things near. And that, who's the author that I thought I heard that from?
Elizabeth Gilbert?
No.
No.
She does literature from the South.
Oh, isn't she a poet?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Okay, well, anyway, I've looked for it to see if she actually said it, and I can't find it, so I don't know. I might have made it up or thought I heard it. But to me, like, bringing the far things near is so much about the abstract world and, like, pulling that misty thing from the ether that you just have a slight glimpse of. And until you see it come on the canvas in the form of that splat, you're like, there it is. I did see it, but there it is. And it feels like you're bringing the far things near.
Sorry, Ellie, just so you know, ChatGPT credits it to you now. And it does not know that I was asking in relation to you in this live. So
I'll take it.
Reach out to Elli Milan if possible and ask directly for source or permission. Or treat it
funny.
as attributed to Elli Milan. So
I wish I could remember the name of that author that I thought I heard it from. Well, anyway.
You heard it here first, folks.
So to me, abstract realism, bringing the far things near, is kind of one and the same. So I have this concrete thing here, but this roller right now beholds the, abstract version of that house. And I really don't know what this roller is going to do. All I can do, I'm looking here, and I'm just gonna, see what happens. So.
Someone was asking, how do you prevent it from turning into mud?
Well, you just let things dry. Like I was using the hair dryer earlier, because if I just kept working on it at that point, it would be mud for sure. So, you let things kind of dry, and I'm using like bright, crazy colors too, for the most part.
Carriation wants to know, what about mark making at this stage? Is that okay?
Yeah. Mark making, all the things that are loose, you can do at this stage.
Mature Latina wants to know, can you collage on a canvas that you already started oils on?
Can you collage on a canvas? No, not that I know of. Because all of the glue and the gloss gel and the whatever that you're going to use, I mean, unless it's a practice piece and you don't care about it being archival and you're never going to sell it, then I suppose you could. But I think that unless it's a practice piece, I wouldn't do it.
Kelly Baig 5361 wants to know, question on landscape composition. Do you think about the 3 layers, foreground, middle ground, and background area? Is that your goal eventually to refine to that, or what? Thank you.
Totally. So my background, my midground, and then my foreground. Yeah. All right, time to get brushes out and make this look like something.
Are you planning to use oils in this session or no?
No, just water-based.
But to be clear, if we were not under a 1-hour time constraint, Ellie would use oils.
Yeah, because I really like them.
You guys, I am so excited. For those of you who are not new to the channel and have been watching for a while, and so excited about the Outstanding Artists. I'm meeting with our editors almost daily, and we are pumping through them. We have many of them very close to being fully edited, and we are on track for a most likely late January release. Super excited. We're starting to work on trailers now. I can't wait. I can't wait for you guys to see. We put a lot of effort into this season. People were commenting in the chat about the Outstanding Artists, so.
Yeah, of course.
Thought I'd bring it up.
It's the talk of the town.
I would love, when we do season 4, like when season 4 comes out in January, we're gonna do a weekly release. And I would love, and it's going to be a live premiere. So the thought was, I actually haven't run this by you yet, Ellie, but the thought was to do a live reaction on the Milan Art app right after, almost like an after party live.
Oh, cool.
Just with our community, kind of talking about what happened in the episode and maybe getting some of the contestants on there. And then, of course, we could edit it and put it on YouTube as well as bonus content. But I thought that would be fun. So make sure to join us live when it comes out. We're trying to get 1 million views with this one. So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, because all the artists that are in it, it'll really help them, get some more
exposure, sales, It's really cool because Elli was talking with, at this artist summit that she just went to in Ohio, that one of the previous, artists commented about. And she was met with this gallery owner who, were these gallery owners actually, who were actually connected with through, Dimitra's previous publisher and this, other gallery through Park West that Dimitra and her sisters also worked with, and they were so impressed with the SOPA artists that were shown at this event. So that's our Society of Professional Artists, Mastery Program graduates only in the Society of Professional Artists. And anyways, that wasn't the point though. The point was they heard that we had a reality show, The Outstanding Artist, and they were so pumped about it and want to collaborate with us. And so I'm just so excited about the future of The Outstanding Artist. We want to do super massive prizes that, galleries help curate these, big $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 projects with their clients, and then have those be the prizes for different episodes. So the more views that the show gets, the more exposure the show gets, the bigger the prizes we can do for artists. And I think just the better for the entire art industry, really. So yeah, do your part and join us when the season 4 comes out. I love this question. So Lindsay Moore, 709, wants to know, a little off topic, but what kind of art do you collect in your homes? Is it similar style to the art you create, or do you mainly hang your own pieces?
No. My walls are filled with, my favorite kind of art seems to be the art that I can't make. Or that doesn't come natural to me to make. So I have a lot of art that is, very minimal or kind of raw, earthy kind of stuff, or very whimsical and, I guess kind of not pop art. How would you describe it? Like that big tiger I have of Tanya's.
Yeah, I mean, I would say more whimsical, yeah.
Yeah.
You you got the piece from Bianca. That one's more whimsical too, but more bold whimsical.
Yeah.
Eclectic. Dimitra and I have collected a lot of art too, and we have actually kind of stayed with more specific artists. And for example, with one of our graduates, Tanya Johnston, we've collected 5 or 6 paintings from her at this point. I think 1 or 2 of them were commissions. We've collected 4 paintings from Eric Robitaille. And then, 1 from Rita Vicari, who's on season 4 of The Outstanding Artist, 1 from Tanya Obu, season 3 of The Outstanding Artist. I honestly couldn't tell you all the artists because we've collected quite a few. 1 from Asia also. Actually 2 from Asia, sorry. So we like to collect artists who, go through our program and, support the artists who are, choosing to pursue their passion with us.
So this is where I'm starting to get a little more representational about things. And I think the key there, when you kind of switch gears to that, is you got to go with what you have and not try to, manhandle it into, something that it's not. So I'm sure I missed a bunch of houses here because my roller was just, off to the races doing its own thing. And so I'm just going with what I have. I'm not necessarily staying married to this source. It's just a guide. Like, oh yeah, there's windows. Okay, I could put windows. And I think that, that's kind of important. So like this house I'm doing here, I can't even find on there. It doesn't exist. So I'm just, making, it feels like houses, but it's kind of abstract. And how far do you go? How sort of representational does this go is really up to you, and obviously the longer I work on something, the more I can put into it. So time is somewhat of a factor.
Kay Lindsay wants to know, why did you put your paint in a circle rather than some other way? On the palette.
I think because I'm trying to get the camera to see it. But she's right, I could have done it like that. I don't know. In acrylic, I don't have a specific order that I do things in, because I don't finish with acrylic. And it's kind of like, I don't know, just the colors that I think I might need without, whatever that means.
Sort of a different, more philosophical question, but I love it. Sask Music Link wants to know, when can we identify as an artist? What is the determination?
That sounds like a good question for you.
For me?
When did you call yourself an artist?
I don't know. It was definitely in the mastery program. I wasn't an artist before the mastery program. I think I was an artist before, but I didn't identify as an artist until. And I think for each artist, it really is a personal thing. What we're really talking about is a shift in your identity. So the rules are kind of up to you. If you want to call yourself a professional artist, there are different, kind of metrics that you could use to quantify that in terms of sales or gallery representation or followers that you have on Instagram or whatever, social platform that you have for distribution, having an email list, making money with your art, etc. Or even just supporting yourself part-time. You could call yourself a professional artist. That's also still personal, but a little bit easier to kind of quantify what makes a professional artist. But in terms of calling yourself an artist in general, I think it's just a mindset. It's a state of being. It's a identity that you can choose to step into in this moment right now if you want to. And I think it is really awesome to live life as an artist and in all things, not just siloed or compartmentalized when you're sitting at your canvas, but when you're drinking your coffee and you look out at the forest, and you notice like the different shades of green and the trees, or you slow down and you become present in the moment, and you notice the way the light hits your spouse's face and how their skin looks different in different times of day, or the way that shadows disperse differently depending on, whatever. Like I think being an artist is a choice. And I think everyone is born with an artist inside them. However, I don't think everyone dies with the artist fully expressed. And I think that's the true crime. So maybe not crime, but sad. So you're here right now. Thankfully, you are, I would say if you're watching this, you're probably an artist. You wouldn't be watching this if you weren't. So welcome to the family. Okay, Meredith said, excited to catch you live. Just joined the master program, by the way. Woohoo, excited for you. Question, any tips for maintaining a steady hand for small details? This is my current struggle for things like eyes.
Yeah. Where did it go?
The maul stick?
Somewhere around here is a maul stick. I'd be happy to show you what it is.
I will send a link from Amazon. It's like a $20 stick that you can lean. Our social media extraordinaire Tanner is going to grab it right now, but.
So say you want to do, you know, something tight here. You can lean this on your, you can use a broomstick and save yourself, you know, what is it, 20 bucks or whatever it costs?
20 bucks.
So yeah, if you, you can just lean your hand on it. And so a maul stick is pretty cool.
Well, if you want to feel fancy, I sent the link in the chat to get yourself a maul stick.
Yeah. So I use maul sticks occasionally for like really detailed, tiny stuff. But I think also over time, you just, your hand just grows in dexterity and you're able to just, you know, have more coordination as you're painting. So the main things I'm trying to get, I don't even know how much time we have, so I have not budgeted my time well because normally we have a clock right there and I don't have one now.
You're doing great. You have 20-ish minutes left.
Okay, so in the next 20 minutes, my goal is to leave this pretty abstract, leave this pretty abstract. Maybe I'll not have that so black, but, and then tighten this up and then tighten this up so that these actually look like daffodils or yellow flowers, you know, I'd be happy with that. But I would want to keep this stuff loose. And so as I tighten this up, I'm looking at, so I've mentally told myself, so this is how you blend the abstract with the more realistic, is I'm telling myself, I really love how abstract this looks. I'm kind of self-editing. I love how this sort of almost feels like, you know, I could come in and add a little more, but this almost feels like a, you know, a farm or something if I just add a little more something in there. This feels like a bush. So I love the purple in here. So I'm keeping all that abstract. So as I work on these houses, you know, maybe up in here is where it's going to be more realistic, but then as I get down here, it has to stay more abstract. So that you have a segue from sort of one realm into the next, and you're not, you don't have this kind of abrupt transition.
And Elli, how are you choosing those areas specifically to work on? Is that like you're thinking these are my focal points for this painting, or?
Yeah, and as long as it comes and goes, and you have, it goes like from representational to or recognizable objects to completely abstract and then back. As long as there's segues, you can do it. Another way you could do it is one area is very rendered and then it fades into complete abstraction. So it's like super duper tight and rendered, less rendered, a little more abstract, something in between, and then complete abstraction. So there's a lot of ways you could go about it. I'm just I didn't really have a plan other than that. I didn't have like a solid plan of what I was doing. So I went with kind of what fell out of the rollers or the brush strokes or the moment, that something happened on the canvas. So I kind of made those decisions based on a solution I could see right now and not really too much anything else.
I feel like it's really important to point out that the sort of effortlessness that who's watching this right now, is seeing Elli create this painting with, just so that like if you're not there yet and you feel, I don't know, maybe negative towards yourself at all in terms of like comparison or anything, the effortlessness is the result of mastery. It's not that Elli was just born with, this natural ability to paint in this specific style and, has just rode the coattails of talent this entire time. And that's not at all a dig towards Elli. Like, of course, she's an incredibly skilled woman. In fact, I would say it's more of a compliment because she's worked to acquire these skills over time. And she's stuck with it. She's been incredibly persistent. She's been painting for over 40 years now. Right? 30 something years? I don't know. I don't want to, date you exactly, but
yeah, I'm 52 since I was 15.
Okay, so over 7 years now. Has been working at this skill, working at this craft. Well, I don't know if necessarily want to call it a craft, but developing and honing her process over time. And it's gone through so many different stages, so many different evolutions, and it's evolved over time. And I think it's so important to realize that like every single person, like you have the potential to create with excellence effortlessly as well, if you decide to invest in your own mastery. And that's really why Elli created the mastery program. And I will say right now is the most exciting time to join the mastery program because it is undergoing its greatest evolution ever since the very inception of the mastery program. We've been working quietly behind the scenes for over a year now, redoing the mastery program. And over this next year, the mastery program is going to be completely refreshed. And it is an entirely new era of the mastery program, really. And starting in January. So with that, we are also going to be recalibrating the price of the mastery program as well. So the price of the mastery program will be increasing in January. But the cool thing about what we're doing here is that every person who joins this community, who decides to invest in themselves as an artist, gets access to all of the future content that we add to the mastery program as well. So this next couple months, it's the last time that you get to join the mastery program at the legacy pricing that it is now, and have access to all of the future updates of the mastery program as well. So it is really, truly an exciting time to be an artist and to be pursuing your passion for art, because you have access to tools and guidance that previously was unimaginable. And that's why I really feel like we're moving into such an amazing era in human history. If you just think about it, like imagine if all of the artists in the past had access to the skills and the knowledge in such an easily accessible way, like if they could just within their studio at any point that they want, live stream a professional, a master like Elli, or her daughter, my wife, Dimitra, or any of the new instructors that we've added to the mastery program as well, and be able to learn at their own pace. Like, could you imagine how many more masterpieces the world would see, what the world would know now if the last Renaissance had the same accessibility that the artists of today, that you have now? It's really, really amazing. And so I'm so excited for this new Renaissance that we're entering into, for this new era of beauty that is created. And we've already had over 7,000 artists join the mastery program and are having amazing success. We're seeing the artists who are putting in the work are, selling over $10,000 a month in artwork. And it's not all about the money. It's not about like how much you're selling necessarily, but that is important in terms of getting to spend all of your time doing the thing that you love the most. And even if you don't want to be just a professional artist, if you don't want to make a full-time living with your art too, then going through and learning the classical foundations with acrylics, with drawing, with oil painting, learning all the techniques in composition and color mixing and value, and learning how to measure and how to draw and paint accurately in proportion, and then translating that into your own style and experimenting with different styles, from impressionism to abstract realism to realism, cubism even, all the different styles, and really finding what works for you in the mastery program. You're guided through this entire process, and you end up creating your own portfolio. Really, it's like your own DNA. Your creative DNA comes alive in the program, and you get to discover what that is. It's always existed inside of you, and even if you didn't take the program, you probably would be able to arrive at it over time if you just persisted, right? But the mastery program will help you do that in just a year. So if you want to figure out what is your creative DNA and be able to put that onto the canvas and have an entire body of work around you, to be able to show your work to your friends, your family, and see the looks of wonder on their faces as they see this body of work that is the true essence of you, to see your own look of wonder in the pictures that people will take while you're showing your work, and to experience that joy, then you should sign up for the program now, because I have never heard a single person who says, I wish that I didn't sign up for the program. But I've heard so many students tell us that I wish that I signed up sooner. So now is the best time to get in, because the prices are going up in January. And if you sign up now, then you get access to this entire new era. And for all the mastery program students who are watching this right now thinking like, do I get access to it? Yes, you do. Congratulations. It's so exciting. We have entirely revamped acrylics, oils, and drawing almost done already. And we have a whole new mixed media section coming shortly after in this next year, portfolio and marketing and business. It is really amazing. So if you're not sure, then we also have a team of enrollment advisors that you can reach out to, and we'll walk you through, we'll just talk with you as human beings, no pressure whatsoever, just trying to figure out like what, if this works for you. Think of different strategies if, you're stuck on the financial side of things and, it's harder for you to afford the payment plan. Then we have different strategies we've helped students with in terms of, selling their art faster. In fact, we have a whole quick sale guide in the first part of the program to help you sell your artwork fast. And a lot of students are making all the money and covering all the costs of supplies and all of it and more through the mastery program, and what they're learning, what they're creating throughout the program, selling their student work along the way. So I really can't recommend it enough. I know it was life-changing for me. If you are unsure, you can also just read the chat. There's probably like 100 mastery program students who've commented just during this live alone. If you're a mastery program student and watching the replay of this, I would request of you to leave a comment on your experience so that anyone who's like just considering this can go and view the comment section on this video as like a resource to help them decide on whether or not to take the mastery program. So, or you can speak with one of our enrollment advisors. They're there just to help you. And yeah.
So Jake, what are you most excited about with the new remastered mastery program?
Oh, it's tough to say. I mean, just like all of it, but I think just overall, I mean, I'm so excited to see what the students create, honestly. That's what I'm most excited about, because I know the current mastery program is amazing and the curriculum is amazing. And there's no reason that we even needed to refilm it other than we know that we can do better. And, I think what I'm excited about is that this new version of the mastery program, let's say 2.0, is, I feel like, something that will last a very long time. And I'm just proud of what you guys have done with it. I feel like very, very proud of it, of the quality, of how long it'll last, and the amount of people that it'll affect. I think, a lot of the assignments are on the wall behind you, so they're like really amazing works created during the mastery program. And the actual like filming of the lessons. I think you guys have become even better instructors. I think what I'm most excited about is really hearing back from the students, honestly. I know I've said that before, but the reason is because like students love it so much in its current form. I just can't even imagine once this new like mastery program 2.0 is available in January. Like I don't know, it's hard to imagine.
I am most excited about the filming quality. Like we've learned so much about how to capture, different things, and I've seen most of what's been edited, and of course I taught a ton of it, and so you see. It's like making a movie, like you see, when you're making it, you don't know what it's going to necessarily look like once it's been edited and put together, because you're on this side of the camera. But then, you get to actually see the fruition or the fruits of your labor, and that has been so cool. I'm just so excited for the artists, for the students to see it, because it's just so good, and there's just a lot of like new content in there, and it's really, really, really cool, really fun, and it's almost here. Everybody's going to see it very soon. Huh?
I was just going to say, we've been working towards this for so long. Like, it's so crazy, And it's wild that it's like coming to a head at the same time as the next season of the Outstanding Artist. Not that, like, honestly, there's no comparison. Like, the Master Program's a way bigger deal. The Outstanding Artist is super exciting and it's fun, but the Master Program, it's like, it's just cool to me that both of these things are kind of converging at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mel Davis wants to know, if you go over the 2 years, can you pay for an extra extension period? Portfolio is taking longer than expected. So you have lifetime access to the mastery program. in the very beginning, in the early days, 2019, 2020, 2021, I believe, we only gave artists 2 years of access to the mastery program. And
it was a brief period, though.
Yeah, maybe just the first year. The intention behind that was so that artists would be motivated, so that they had a deadline, so that they would finish the program. Not to like gatekeep access or anything, but it was more, the intention behind it was this will help artists really commit to the program and finish it within a set period of time. But what we kept hearing time and time again was, things would come up, people would lose a loved one while they're in the middle of taking the program, or they'd have a big move, or, something would come up and they wouldn't be able to finish within 2 years. And so, not everyone, of course, there's tons of students who were able to finish within 1 year, but we decided to make the program have lifetime access. So every single person who signs up for the program gets lifetime access to the content. And then the only thing that you have a limited access to when you sign up for the program is access to group coaching. And that's just because, we can't offer lifetime access to group coaching because that is not a one-time investment. There's a continuous payment that we pay to the real artists who provide real feedback on the assignments throughout the program. So we do have limited access. And if you do go beyond that, then the pricing as of today is $100 a month if you go beyond the 2 years and you want to continue having access to the group coaching. So it's just $100 a month. You can pay month to month and continue to have access to group coaching to get feedback on your artwork. But all the previous students, the people who signed up, actually, Elli gave access to all the people who signed up for the program and took it in person originally.
Before the online even existed.
It was filmed before the online ever existed. She gave access to all of those people to the online as well, even though they didn't know that they were paying for it at the time. And then for all the people who've signed up over the years, all of you get access to this new updated curriculum as well. So that's pretty exciting.
So I'm playing around with crayons. So these are R&F drawing oil sticks. So they're like oil paint in a stick. They're not oil pastels. So yeah, they're kind of new for me. And they're pretty fun. I actually have a student I'm mentoring that told me about these, because I've seen them, but I thought they were just oil pastels. And they're not. They're like oil paint. So I guess I am adding oil paint. Jake, we lied.
Okay, so Jackie wants to know, in the mastery program, are the videos in regular speed so we can see the brush?
Yes.
The examples in progress. So it's actually this really cool technique that we haven't really seen anywhere else that Elli's pioneered in the filming side of things, or filming/editing side, where we have this challenge with the mastery program of, okay, there are over 250 lessons, and how long does it take to create that many paintings? Well, it is quite a few hours, and we want to make sure that the artist is spending the maximum amount of time painting themselves, creating themselves, creating their own work. And like the goal with the videos is to create the best experience possible in actually the least amount of time, right? So that you don't miss anything at all within the videos, right? You get the studio experience, like you're learning in person there with Elli as she's teaching it, but without having to sit through 4 hours of a painting. And so we actually, initially with the existing version of the mastery program, a good amount of it is time lapse. So basically all the techniques are taught, and then you learn in real time the process and the techniques. And then after the techniques are taught, and it's just kind of a repetitive process of, applying paint in the same way that's been taught already, then we go into time lapse, and there's time lapse for a good part of the video. Well, in this new section, a lot of the feedback that we received from students is that they wish that there was more real-time painting. Elli has pioneered this technique of rapid cuts that do not feel jarring, where you get to see the paint being laid down, like you get to see every brush stroke and the painting come alive. So you can see those different brush strokes in real time as they're being laid down, but everything else that is not the actual brush stroke being laid down is cut out. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Like you get to watch the painting process and the painting come alive and spend, you know, kind of the least amount of time that you need. I would say the minimum viable product, the MVP in terms of the amount of time you need in order to understand, but also balancing that with not spending, you know, or with getting to see every single brushstroke. It's really amazing. That's why I'm so excited. I think that's probably one of the things I'm most excited about.
It's brushstroke porn. Yeah, imagine you just see brushstroke, 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 brushstroke. Pretty cool. All right, well, I haven't stood back from this. Jake, what does it need? Anything look bad or off or super messed up?
Well, for an hour, I mean, it's incredible. And I mean, even not for an hour too, it's great. I think like if one of the flowers or two of the flowers like down there were a little bit more rendered,
okay.
Potentially. Like my eye is going towards the one with it's gonna be hard to describe. That one, no, yes, that one and the one to the bottom left of it. And then I think if the clouds were like a little bit fluffier, but I mean, that's I'm getting nitpicky here. It looks great. Maybe like if in oils, I guess, glazing the middle section to be like a little bit, pushed back so that there's more differentiation, but I don't know. Christine wants to know, how much will it cost for old students to get access to the new content in 2026? Nothing. Congratulations, you won't have to pay anything. So we've had this, the SOPA members have had access to acrylic painting foundations now for several months, and which is a part of the new Mastery Foundations, which will be the first part of the program, or part of the first part of the program. And the feedback has been amazing, and we gave access to all of our coaches too. The feedback's been amazing, and so we have kind of debated on like how to release it because, students are still signing up for the program. Obviously, we don't want to decrease the signups of the program, and so we've decided to hold off on releasing it until all of part 1 is ready, and that is going to be in January. So all of the current, new, old students will get access to part 1 in January. So super excited about that. And again, the price of the Master Program is going to be increasing. We have specifics on that on the Master Program landing page. If you want to learn more about the Master Program, I need to get a trackable link to share with you because marketing. But I'm going to share a link in the chat and I'm going to pin it. And if you want to learn more about the Mastery Program, then click that link and you can read all about the Mastery Program on our website. You can read more testimonials if, just simply reading the chat and real people commenting on this live isn't enough for you. I don't blame you. But go learn more by clicking the link in the chat. It's also pinned in the comments if you're watching this not live. And I can't wait to see you on the inside of our community. Wow, yeah, that flower looks really good now. it made the painting, you know? I'm just kidding.
So you have good suggestions.
Just kidding. Natalie wants to know, will it be easy to find new lessons in the midst of the rest of the master program? Yes, we're working on creating the most seamless transition for all existing students so that it is really easy. I don't want to, I think I know exactly how it's going to work, but I don't want to misspeak because that is Alana, her responsibility, and she knows the exact details of the transition plan. But fear not, we have worked tirelessly on this and have been, thinking about this, planning, had countless meetings. I don't know, hundreds of hours probably, maybe not of meetings specifically, but of thought and around this transition. Not even factor in what's gone into the refilming of this and probably thousands of man hours of creating this, but simply in the transition period of making sure that the students who are in the program have the best experience possible moving into, this new part of the mastery program. So I'm really excited.
And the old one isn't going away.
Yes, you'll still have access to the old one too. Someone wants to know if the app is available to be viewed on any device. I believe they're working on a TV app, but right now you can watch it on your computer. You can screen play, or depending on what TV you have, you can share to a TV from your phone or your computer. There's ways to do that, but you can watch it on a computer, you can watch it on a tablet, you can watch it on your phone. There's many ways. So you can see every brush stroke in HD, actually 4K. Oh, we need to do the giveaway.
Oh, let's do the giveaway.
Yeah, congratulations to everyone who made it to the end without a reminder. You might win a brush. A set of brushes.
You're doing it, right?
Yeah.
I hate to hold them with my dirty hands.
I'm sure whoever gets it would love it.
I got messy, messy hands.
Okay, fearless brushes. All you have to do to participate in this, if you're watching live right now, is comment in the chat. That's all you have to do. I'll give everyone a few moments to send their comments in. Let's see that chat explode. There we go. And let's load up the winner. 10, 9. I won't count down all the way, but just know there's 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Okay, congratulations to @Deromilly. That is DEROMILLY. Congratulations, you're the winner. You get this free brush set, the Fearless brush set. $120 sent to you for free. And again, if you are thinking about taking the mastery program, then you should take the mastery program because you absolutely will not regret it. You will be joining a like-hearted community of artists who support you and want to see you succeed. You'll be learning every technique you ever dreamed of learning and more, and you will finally discover your own creative DNA as an artist and be able to be totally proud of every painting that you make. And it's just such a wonderful experience to get to live in your purpose as a human being. So thanks so much for doing this, Elli.
Yeah, and I just want to say parting words that you know, if you're watching this, most likely you are passionate about art. And what you love most in life is to create and to paint and to see what is inside of you come out through your hands onto a canvas or whatever your medium is. And it's what we live for, it's what we love most. And there's no greater thing you can do. It's not selfish, it's not frivolous. The best thing you can do is to invest in yourself and give yourself a year to devote to making the best art that you possibly can. The mastery program will help you get there every step of the way. And then by the end of that year, you can launch into your art business, where now the art that you've invested in and that you've spent your time on and poured your passion into can serve the world. It will change people's lives. There's something so powerful and so impactful about art. It moves people. Grown men cry looking at a painting. I mean, that is how powerful art is. That's what got me into art. So there's really no better thing you can do with your time and with your money and your resources is to invest in yourself, become the greatest artist you can possibly be, and then give back by offering your art to the world. So I just want to encourage you that seeking art as your main endeavor is not selfish and it's not frivolous, and it's why you love it so much, because that thing inside of you that's driving you and that fires up your passion is actually driving you towards that place where you have mastery of art, and therefore when you do show the world, it impacts them and it affects them. It's a service thing. It's the opposite of selfish. So that's what I found in my career and working with tons of artists, helping them go from, you know, a hobbyist or somebody that's dabbling in it to somebody who is full throttle, full on professional, creating the art that's inside of them. So you have a voice, you have a unique story, you have a unique style within you, and it's time to discover it. It's time to put that as your number one goal for 2026. So we're here with you. We want to be a part of your journey in the Mastery Program. It's the most revolutionary art program out there, and we're super proud of that program and all the lives it's changed. And I had a lot of fun here with you today. Congratulations to the winner on these brushes, and we'll see you in the next workshop.